Media at SAFM with Ashraf Gardner.
Right, let's find out about the we talk about consumers and then or active and reactive and then proactive. So you got the prosumer report. Let's find out more about it with, is it Gerhard Sagat, right?
That's right.
The head of strategy at Euro RSCG. Gerhard, thanks for your time. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for the invitation.
Tell us what's it all about, first of all, in terms of the premise, why?
Well, the relationship between people and healthcare has evolved over the last few decades, in three important ways. Firstly, thanks to the internet and social media, the power of medical knowledge is no longer lying in the hands just of the medical professionals. So people are starting to research the illnesses more, finding alternative cures, finding, perhaps who's the best professional doctor to be looking after them for their particular condition. The other way in which the attitude towards health has changed is that death is being seen less as a fate to be accepted and as something that's more of just a failure of bad health management. So as communities are growing older, more and more people are dying from lifestyle-related diseases such as cardiovascular disease, diabetes, those kinds of things. And in many ways, you are, your lifestyle is just as important as your genetics in whether or not you are affected by these illnesses and how well you live. And that changes, quite a lot about how people think about, their health and their wellness and how they take control of it. And the other big way in which, the relationship between people and their health is changing is that globally it's become quite standardized with, doctors training internationally, pharmaceutical companies being global and looking for products with global potential and drawing on global resources. And then your universities and institutes sharing this information across borders. So, within that context, the Euro RSCG has spent quite a bit of time looking at, health and wellness in modern times to see how the attitude and the behaviors of prosumers and consumers are changing towards, their well-being.
With the ultimate line that how that will impact for marketers, isn't it?
Absolutely. There's lots of different ways that it is happening. I've got a few examples from overseas which we've been able to collect in terms of how people are and what marketers are doing, both in category and out of category. And it's quite important to remember that this, health is something that affects everybody, and everybody's quite concerned about it. And, in our research, we found that it wasn't, age or gender or, anything, even different countries that have differences of opinions. So between the prosumers and the consumers that have the differences of opinions. But it's something, as I said, that relates to everybody in their
So what did you come up with?
Okay, well, the first thing that people are looking for is that, they're looking for brands that are going to be more of a brand partner towards them and, and help them keep to their resolutions easier. So one example is Reebok Promise Keeper.
Right.
And it's with the launch of their new ZigTech technology shoe, they create an application where you would upload your planning schedule, your training schedule online, and if you fail to keep your training commitments, it would automatically post to Twitter and Facebook, to all your followers and friends.
So this guy's not doing his work. Oh my
exactly.
goodness.
So it became quite a good motivator for people to start keeping to their schedules. Apple is another example. They had Design Plus Health. They brought out a range where they had weighted mugs, so like 1 kilogram mugs and 2 kilogram mugs. Along with different post-it notes with little health tips and those kinds of things, which are all designed to help people, be more active while they spend time at their desks, especially designers, as you'd know, they spend a lot of time over there, and it's been quite well received. An insurance company in France, it's Swiss Life in France, they created a health dashboard that monitors the pollution and allergy levels, where people can then subscribe and they're able to be notified on a daily basis whether it's high risk, low risk. And this application also evolved to then start, booking medical appointments, keeping your medical appointments with reminders, those kinds of things. And that's from an insurance company that's now tapping into the insights of health and wellness. And I think the big thing really is that brain development is being perceived as something which is quite important with the forthcoming trend. And Euro RSCG Worldwide predicts that probably within the next decade or so, you're going to start to see a whole new category of products starting to hit the shelves such as what we call them N products, with the N being neurological.
Okay.
You'll have your enhancers, N boosters, and all these kind of things that promise better brain health. And you can already start to see these kinds of products on shelf. There is an organic milk that's sold in France, which has DHA omega-3 fortified, and which is used to, it's a claim to promote brain health, and they market it as something that is brain boosting. And even Kellogg's have bars, also overseas, called brain booster bars with the same,
Okay, interesting. So this report then, if we then reduce it to or relate it to South Africa, what does it mean to marketers and consumers?
I think for marketers and consumers, what's quite important is that you've got to realize that more and more people are taking their health seriously, and they're looking for brands and for companies to help them make better health decisions. An example of what retailers could do, which again is something that I've found overseas, is they've taken all their food products and they've graded it either 1, 2, or 3 star, where 1 star is it's good for you, 2 being better, and 3 being best. So when consumers are busy looking to purchase products that are going to be healthier for them, or which is the better product to be purchasing in terms of their health, instead of making them look at the different labels and make those decisions, they're helping them and making it easier for them to to choose the product that is the healthier option.
That sounds like a pretty good idea. Will that happen in this country?
I do hope so, and I don't think it'll be too far off. If the whole trend about health and wellness does continue to grow, which there's no reason why it should not, and all the signs out there that it will be growing, I think that that's one of the kind of things that just as example retailers would be able to do to make things easier. There's already legislation coming out which is making the food manufacturers disclose more content in the manufacturing of their products. So I think the whole world is definitely moving that way.
Okay, so this report, if somebody wants to grab a hold of it,
absolutely,
where to?
They can get a hold of me at Euro RSCG. That's a Johannesburg number, 5493600.
So 5493600, right?
Right. Or they can email me at gerhard.sagat@eurorscg.co.za. I'm happy to share the reports with them, or if they would like, I can present the results to them as well.
All right. I'll tell you what, if you're stuck with those numbers, don't worry, it's all not lost. Just email me, Ashraf, spelled ASHRAF, ashraf@safm.co, and I'll certainly put it on to Gerhard indeed. Well, there you are. Okay, well, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, and sounds pretty interesting indeed. So